Hello, my name is Professor Evans. I will be your professor teaching you chemistry this semester. Since we're doing it online, we'll largely be speaking through manners like this. But feel free to come by in person. This video is here to let you know exactly what's on the syllabus and exactly what I'll be expecting of you. In a few seconds, I'll switch to the syllabus and we can look at that. But the first thing I want to show you is the textbook we'll be using. Essentially, this textbook, The Extraordinary Chemistry of Ordinary Things. Don't worry about trying to buy this. It is out of print. Yes, you can find it online. However, I have multiple copies. If you come in during one of my office hours, I'd be more than willing to lend you one for the semester. However, you will largely not need it for the class. Most of what you need, you can get from the lecture videos. I can post other information, and you can get a lot of stuff from online. So the main reason to have the book is a quick way to look back over the material we covered without having to rewatch a video, or to help follow along as you work. But for the large point, I'll have already taken most of that stuff out of the book that we'll need. But feel free to come in and rent a copy for the semester. This is to try to save you one last thing you have to worry about. Now, switching directly to the syllabus. So as you can see here, there's our syllabus. You see here's my office in the science complex 209. That's the second floor. This is my actual cell phone. Don't be spamming me, but if there is absolutely something you need and my email is, I'm not responding to my email, send me a text. I don't know my office hours until I decide them, so take a picture of them once I post them. Okay, so the big thing here, skimming right along, is that here's the basic idea. While this is the rough estimate of how I want you to do this, because this is online, you can really go largely on your own pace. I'll have a lot of stuff already posted, but the key thing is watch out for these tests. There's some various homework things I'll ask of you, but for the large part, nothing will be officially due till coming test time. So if you wanted to wait until right before the test to do all the first 5 chapters with the homework, that is your prerogative. If you want to work them all ahead and then do test 1, like after a couple weeks, you can do that too. But I'm going to break down the material into 4 tests. The test 4 being the final, just over that last 4 chapters. So the final is no more than just a regular old test. But we're going to go through the majority of this book, skipping largely the biochemistry portion, which deals with fats, oils, carbohydrates, DNA. You'll get the majority of that if you ever take a biology class, but we're going to cut that out for the sake of time. Some of these will be a little bit more fun than others. These 2 chapters on nuclear chemistry, a little bit of organic, a little bit of how the petroleum actually works. There's some basic science here when we're talking about 8, 9, 10, and 11. When we get to 13 and 14 and some of these later chapters, we're getting into the more real-world situations that how chemistry affects us everyday life. The idea here is I want you to be able to take after all said and done, is chemistry and see how chemistry impacts our life. So largely online lecture, made some discussion, we have some problem sets, we have exams, and you can watch many a demonstration in the videos. So the big thing is you watch the lecture videos and turn in problem sets. You need your own computer. Each exam is worth 20%. The total amounts of problem sets are worth 20%. So, 90, 80, 70, 60 grading scale. Okay, so that is the syllabus. Now, let's look at some of the problem sets and some of the things. Shifting right along, we see right here in the stream, we have Chem 100. Once I've added you to this, you'll have access. But until then, we have in here the access to the syllabus. We'll have some test study materials, and here's where I'll post the videos. Now, you can watch these videos directly from YouTube, where they are originally posted, and they are posted on my channel, The Chemistry Cowboy. Now, a lot of these videos were largely written and performed last year. I taught this class once before last year, and I had it largely a writing enhanced course, which means that there was a lot of writing involved, as well as with not nearly as much chemistry. Still had the same videos, but every video ended with a writing prompt. These videos have been edited, so there's maybe a last final thought for the chapter, but largely the writing prompt has been cut out. So some of these have been edited in small ways, but for the most part, they are the same videos that were last year. So if you look from the video to me now, some changes may have occurred. Now, every week there is a problem set based on that chapter. It's a little quiz. You can go in there, you click in that, and that will move you directly to a problem set that you have to do. Some of these, for example, are matching. Some of these are short answers. Some of these will be math, drop down, various things depending on the chapter. But these are all worth a few months a point. So, short answer here. What is the difference between a hypothesis and a theory? You type that in. The difference between science and technology. Some of these guys are thought-provoking questions where there is no real right or wrong answer. So, I really just want you to think about some of these guys. Think about these and try to answer to your best ability. Yes, you can use the chapter lectures to help you. Yes, you can use online sources to help you. These problem sets are not meant to be difficult. They're not meant to really stump you. I want you to think. Give 2 examples of chemicals that are ordinarily thought as hazardous or harmful, yet right circumstances can be beneficial. Right now, you can think of morphine. You can get highly addicted to morphine, but when you're in crippling pain, you really need that. So I mean, just some thoughts. Sometimes you may have to do a little bit of outside research, but it's not meant to be overly hard. I'm testing you kind of whether you put some thought into some of these questions. Yeah, some of them do have right or wrong answers, but a lot of them, there's a lot of thought needs to go into that, and this is just kind of making sure you watch the video and put some thought into some of these things. A lot of these problems are taken directly from the book. Now, the study material are problems I've written based on once again, the book, some thoughts of this, and these will literally be where I pull your test questions from. So the first, for example, 5 or 6 questions here come from chapter 1. The next 6 questions come from chapter 2, and so on and so forth. If you can answer these questions, you are fully prepared to take test 1. I am not trying to throw any curveballs at you. There are 30 questions. Probably 20 of them will be asked. Maybe a little bit less, but probably like 20 of these. So if you can answer the majority of these, you'll be fully prepared for the test. Now, whether you want to print these off in advance, take a look at the homework problems before you watch the video, or watch the video and then look at the homework, you're more than welcome to do whichever you think is best. You may have to go back to the video, but that is up to you to decide. You want to do it. So that is the plan. You're to watch the videos each week, answer the problem sets, and at least try to get the problem sets in before taking the test. I will have a set due date of take this test before this time period. The first 5 problem sets will be due before this time period, and that is essentially how we'll do it. And I'll be trying to post the grades at the end of those periods. No, that is essentially what you can expect from this course. I'm not trying to really push the limits of your effort. I want to try to instead push the limits of our knowledge. Understand what goes into the society that we have. Why does vinegar taste sour, the same as lemons? It has to do with the acidity. Why does baking soda explode when you add vinegar to it? Things like that, just so you are more informed of society around us. But that is essentially what you need to know before going into this class. I want you to have a good day, and I will see you in the first major video.